This week, we as Republicans were rebuffed in an effort to pass a common-sense bill that would have brought about a truly balanced energy plan for this nation. Now, we all know that we need to expand energy production through alternatives and through renewable energy sources. We know that we need to promote greater energy efficiency and energy conservation.
My first trip to Alaska, to the area that would be the subject of exploration there, was at the invitation of the first Senator Murkowski from Alaska. And it's very clear to me then, and remains clear, that should have been open for exploration and should today.
What policy changes do we need to make? We're told we haven't had a new refinery in 30 years. Does this panel need to introduce some legislation to make it easier for us to have more refinery capacity?
The rising cost of oil in the United States of America is threatening to cripple commercial aviation. It's driven the price of farming from standpoint of fuel for pivots as well as fertilizer through the roof. It's even raised the cost of building highways in our state by some 48% because of the tremendous amount of petroleum that contributes to that. It's having a pervasive negative effect, and I think it's absolutely critical, and I'm glad the conference is focusing on a comprehensive approach to reducing our dependence on foreign imported oil and declaring independence from the politics of energy.
We just need to put in place the proper public policy will allow us to develop our resources and what we can do here in this country, whether it's renewable energy, whether it's the fossil fuels, or whether it's nuclear energy. We have the capability, and I think what we're going to find in this hearing today is that we've dug ourselves a hole. We didn't do it just overnight. It's been over a gradual period of time. And right now, we can't afford to take any energy source off the table. And we can do it in an environmentally friendly way. And if we're going to relieve the pain at the pump, and we're going to allow families to be able to balance their budget through lowering energy costs, it's very much in the hands of this Congress. We just have to put in place the right policy to make that available so that we can move forward.
I've written to the President suggesting that he might take the initiative along the following lines. Every morning we awaken to hear the plight of the average American citizens, or all American citizens. And you see a theme out here: we're going to use our automobile less. We're going to, as a matter of fact, I think this is National Bicycle Day. Well, we shouldn't take those comments lightly. And I think maybe the President might go among his various departments and government agencies and look for a possibility to cut back the use of fuel, maybe by only 5%. As Senator Stevens and I work with the Department of Defense, that's the biggest user of fuel within our government. We don't want to impair our readiness, training, but there are measures by which we could take an instant fix on the consumption of fuel if the government would take their place in line with the citizens of America today as they practice conservation in their homes and their business places.
We have to, as a country, wake up. If we're going to catch up with our own domestic production, we cannot afford to allow this minority of a minority to delay getting the supply we need for our own security. I believe oil, the availability of oil, is a matter of national security. As Senator Warner said, the largest consumer of oil in the United States is the United States military. We realized that in the 70s because we saw what it meant when they had to be denied oil during the embargo. Now, it would be unconscionable to deny the military oil today. And yet there are some people out there who disagree with us violently on what we're doing, who could well embargo us at any moment.
The United States faces the immediate and growing problem of dependence on foreign sources of oil and the high price of gasoline, largely as a result of serious supply-demand imbalances. In the past year, we've seen the price of oil increase by nearly 50%, and we've seen the price increase over the past decade by about 370%. Meanwhile, our nation's dependence on foreign oil has grown to 60%.
So more American clean energy is clearly the right thing for us to do. More technology to create breakthroughs to get us away from fossil fuels is exactly the right approach for us.
And I think that is a joint responsibility of all of us to become increasingly more vocal about our needs and our expectations and what we are going to be doing to answer the energy crisis that America senses it is in or rapidly moving into.